Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I'm going to show you how to make this beautiful skirt. So we made it out of Starburst and we did 4 across and 8 down. But the length across and the length down may vary according to your size. So that's what's super cool, is that it's so adjustable. So if you want to see how I did this, follow along. Firstly, I'm going to show you how to make these starbursts. You'll need a lot of colors and 64 starbursts if you're making the same size as me. Okay, we can begin with a slip stitch. Then we chain 4, so we go yarn around your needle, pull through 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you go into that first stitch and you make a slip stitch to make our circle we're going to work into. So now we're going to chain 2. You can see we're working into that circle. Chain 2, 1, 2. Then we're going to do 15 double crochets so that you'll have 16 stitches in total. So we're going to go 1, so that's yarn around your needle, through the stitch, catch, pull through. And then you've got 3 loops, catch the yarn, pull through 2, so you have 2 loops, catch the yarn, pull through 2 loops again. So that's 2, 2, 3, 4, 4. Okay, so we got 16 in total. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 in total. Then we go into that chain that we did, into the second chain, and we join with a slip stitch. So that's through the stitch, and you catch the yarn and then you pull through 2 loops. That's row 1 done. To start row 2, so we've chained 2, then we're now going to make puff stitch in every single stitch. So that's yarn around your needle, through the stitch, catch the yarn and pull it through. So we have 3 loops, yarn around your needle, through the stitch, catch and then pull through, yarn around your needle, through the stitch, catch, pull through. Have 7 loops, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then you catch your yarn and you pull through all 7 loops. Then we chain 1 and we work into the next stitch. Yarn around your needle, through the stitch, catch your yarn, pull it through. Yarn around your needle, through the stitch, catch, pull through. Yarn around your needle. So that's 3 times and you should have 7 stitches. Then you catch and you pull through all 3 loops. Chain 1 and we do that again. At the end of this row you should have 16 puff stitches. So I'll meet you once we are there. Okay, so you can see we've come to that last stitch and I only did 2 of those puff stitches, and then we're going to join with a slip stitch because this is going to make up for that 1 puff that we left out. So that's the chain we started with in the beginning. So now you're going to take your scissors and cut off the yarn, and we are going to use the next color, which I'm going to use green, so it's very bright. But that is the whole vibe for the skirt. So yeah, I'm going to catch the yarn, pull it through and just tighten it there. Then I'm going to chain 1, 2. And then we're going to make 4 joint double crochet. So I don't even know what the stitch is called, but we're going to call it 4 unfinished or 4 joint double crochet. So that's yarn around your needle, pull it through, then catch and pull through only 2 loops. Then yarn around your needle, through the stitch, catch, pull through, so that's, and then catch the yarn, pull through 2, so that's 1, 2 stitches, yarn around your needle, catch, pull through, then pull through 2 loops, so that's 3, yarn around your needle, catch, pull through, and go through 2, that's 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4 unfinished double crochets, and then catch yarn and pull through all 4 loops. Then we chain 2, 1, 2, and we move on to the next gap. So next we're gonna take this pink and we are going to make a slip stitch, and then just tighten it there, catch a slip stitch, pull it through, then we're going to chain 2, 1, 2, and we're going to do the same thing. So I'm going to work backwards into the stitch here. We're going to do 3 unfinished double crochets or joint double crochets, because that chain at the beginning of the row counts as 1. So that's 4. We chain 2, 1, 2, and we just do another row of 4 joint or unfinished double crochets. Okay, so we've come to the last stitch there. Then we just gotta, well, I've chained 2, then we're gonna join into that chain that we did with a slip stitch, and then that is your final row complete. To get started, I'm gonna take 1 square. Actually, I'm gonna line up 4, so let's go purple, green, let's go this color, and then let's go blue. Okay, and I'm gonna put these all aside. So you're gonna take your white yarn, or whichever color you're gonna use to make the border, and you're gonna make a slip knot. And we're gonna start, and once you've done your starburst, obviously you fasten it off. Let's pretend this will be our corner here. We're gonna make 3 double crochets. We're gonna go so we're gonna start by making a chain, 1, 2, 3. Then we're gonna go 2 double crochets, 1, 2, because that chain 2 that we did in the beginning counts as a double crochet. And we're going to work 3 double crochets into the next gap, 1, 2, 3, and then 3 double crochets into the next gap. Actually, 1, 2, 3, and in that 4th gap you make an increase, so you go 1, 2, 3, then you chain 2, 1, 2, and then you do another group of 3 into that gap, 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to work 3 groups of double crochet into the next 3 stitches, so 3 double crochet, 3 double crochet, 3 double crochet, and that 4th double crochet make an increase, and then you do that 1, 2, 3, and in that 4th stitch increase. So I'll meet you when we are there. Okay, so you can see we've worked so we've done 3 and then an increase, and then 3 and then an increase in the 4th stitch, and then 3 and then we've done that 4th stitch there, but I'm not going to increase in there. That's just staying as is. We're going to chain 2, 1, 2, and we're going to take our next square and make 3 double crochets. So 1, 2, 3, and then join with a slip stitch to the opposite side, or the opposite side that has been worked. And you do 3 double crochets into the next stitch. 1, 2, 3, and then slip stitch into that group of double crochets in the next row, well, on the opposite side. And you go 1, 2, 3, then slip stitch, and you go 1, 2, 3, then slip stitch, and then we're in that 4th stitch there, so 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean in the 5th stitch, 1, 2, 3, chain 2, 1, 2, and then 3 double crochets again to finish off that corner. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I just want to say, don't be worried, we will come back to this bottom row, but these will be the corner, so pretend those are worked but they're not worked. So you got 1, 2, 3, and then your corners. Then we're going to work across. We go 3 double crochets, 3 double crochets, 3 double crochets, and the 4th stitch increase. 1, 2, 3, and 4th stitch increase. Then 1, 2, 3 in that 4th stitch increase. No increase, just your 3 double crochets. So I'll meet you once we've done that. Also, don't forget to chain 1 after each double crochet. I think it's a bit different when you're joining them, but so we are in that 4th gap there. Then we're going to take our next color, well, our next square, and we're going to chain 2, 1, 2, and we're going to do 3 double crochets and basically just join how we did on this square. So it's just a matter of repetition, really. 1, 2, 3, and then I don't know if I should chain 1 and then slip stitch. Okay, we'll soon find out. 1, no. 3, and then slip stitch. I'm using that slip stitch as the chain 1, kind of. Yeah. Slip stitch. Okay, and then we're in that 5th stitch from the top. We're going to go in there and we're going to do our corner. And remember to leave the corners open. So you do your 3 double crochets, chain 2, and then 3 double crochets again. And you'll see why we leave the corner open, because when you're joining the next row, that's you join into the opposite corner. So you'll see once I've done that, and I'll meet you once I have joined all 4 squares. You basically just repeat what you did for here and here. So I just want to show you, so we've crocheted our squares together, so up, across, down, and you join as you, well, then you join the square and then you work up and then join this square to that square, or that starburst to that starburst. Then you work across down, then you join the next starburst, and you join, when you're working up, you join to that starburst with doing slip stitches. So you work all the way up and down across, so you've worked your 4 squares, and then we stop here. So we've done 1, 2, 3, 4 groups of double crochet, so 3 double crochets. So we worked into 4 gaps. Now we're going to start the next row where we only join at the bottom. So we're only working the bottom of the starburst for this next row. So chain 2 to start. Then I'm just going to flip my work upside down, grab my square, my starburst, and then you do 3 double crochets, and then you join with a slip stitch. And then you do 3 double crochets, and then you join with a slip stitch. 3 double crochets, 1, 2, 3, and then join with a slip stitch. Then you do 3 double crochets, then slip stitch, 3 double crochets, three. Now, I don't know if you can see, this will be the corner. So what you do is you chain 1 and then join to the opposite corner with a slip stitch like that, and then you take your next square, this is our next square, and then you chain 1 and you do the exact same thing. You do 3 double crochets, and then you join with a slip stitch. So we're gonna do this for all of our squares, and then I will meet you once we have joined all our squares at the bottom, like so. Okay, so you can see we've crocheted to that corner and then joined to the corner with a slip stitch. And then what we're going to do now is chain 1, and we are going to continue making that corner. So we're going to go in with a group of 3 double crochets, 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to make 1, 2, 3 double crochets up the corner, up the side. So I don't know if you can see that this side we'll be working up the side, and then this side is left open, and you'll see why when we get to the end. So we've crocheted 3 groups of double crochets, and in that 4th one we're going to make our corner. So we do 3 double crochets, chain 2, and then so we do 3 double crochets, chain 2, and then 3 double crochets, and then you work 1, 2, 3, and then you work 3 double crochets, 1, 2, 3. In that 4th one you increase, so you do your corner, then you work down, and I'll meet you there. Okay, so we've worked up across, so 1, 2, 3 in the 4th stitch, increase 1, 2, 3, and you can see we've got our corner in that 4th stitch. So what happens is now that you chain 1, so we've done our corner, we just need to like make the gap like that chain you do in the corner. But to do that, we're going to join to the opposite square with a slip stitch. So remember, we left the square open, and we did that for a reason. So you can just, actually I like to do this. I like to join the square like that, and then I join with a slip stitch. Then I chain 1 and then work. You can see this corner is open, so you work 3 double crochets into that corner. 1, 2, 3, and then you slip stitch into the opposite gap. Then you do your 3, so you work up and join simultaneously. So you'll do 3 double crochets, join, 3 double crochets, join, 3 double crochets, join, and then you'll leave the corner open. So we'll go back to how we did this first row. We will leave the corner open, then you work across, down. So for this row, it's up, across, down, then join to the opposite corner, then you work up and join simultaneously, leave the corner open, work across, down, then join, then work up and join simultaneously, and then work across, work down, and then join to opposite corner, then work up this sunburst or starburst, and then join simultaneously, then work across, and then I'll meet you there to join the next row at the bottom. So now we have joined the starburst together. We are going to flip the work upside down and start joining the next row of starburst at the bottom. So we do our 3 double crochets and then join with a slip stitch, and then 3 double crochets again, and we just continue that until all our squares have been joined. And then don't forget, when you're joining, when you come to the corner, join to the opposite corner, not the corner directly under where you've just done your 3 double crochets. I hope that makes sense. And then we're just going to repeat this for however many rows you need to reach your desired length. I did 8 rows of starburst, so that means I used 32 squares for each panel, so 64 in total. So I just want to show you, for this last row that you're doing, you're joining the corners. So you basically make your 3 double crochets, and then instead of chaining 2, you just slip stitch into the corner on the square next to where you're working, and then you just chain 2, and then you continue with your 3 double crochets for the corner there. Then you basically just crochet down, across then down, and then join, and then I'll meet you again when we're doing the corner just to show you one more time. And then, so we've done the first 3 here, then we slip stitch into the corner, chain 2, and then continue with this corner here. Then we crochet across. So I just want to show you, we've got our 2 panels, so our front and the back panel. So 2 panels you can see here, and I just want to show you that we're going to be, once you've done your 2 panels, you're going to sew your open edge to the closed edge. So I'll quickly lay it out because my space that I'm working with here is too small to show you, so I'll show you now. Okay, so I just want to show you that here are the 2 panels of the skirt. So you can see this panel has been worked. Well, I mean this side, both these sides have been worked. So that means we're gonna, so one panel will be facing like that, like the wrong side round, and then you'll be working this open panel to this closed panel. Like, I don't know how to explain for this to make sense, but I'll show you how we're gonna do it. It's like when you join, you know, when you join the rows together, you're working like an unworked piece to the worked piece. So both these, like on this side will be unworked joining to worked, unworked joining to worked. So I'm just going to show you how we do that. Okay, so we've got our 1 2 3 4, because that will be the one bit of the corner. Then I'm going to join with a slip stitch to the opposite corner, well, to the opposite like panel. So this is your back panel, this is your front panel, or vice versa. And then we're going to make 3 double crochets in this gap. 1 2 3, and then join with a slip stitch. See, so you can see there's our corner, 3 middle stitches, and then corner. And then we just made the corner, pretty simple. And then you do 3 double crochets into the next gap, and then join with a slip stitch to the opposite side. So we're working down this side whilst joining the panels together. Now I just want to explain that I'm not going to join all the way down, because I want this the like skirt to have 2 slits either side. So I'll meet you, and I'm just going to show you how to join this. I'm going to meet you when we are there. Okay, so I'm just going to show you how I'm doing the corner. So you can kind of see that this is the corner here, but we need to join to the opposite side. Actually no, we're going to join to the opposite side. So I'm going to go through, I'm going to chain 1 2, and then I'm going to go through the slips, like that little gap there, and then same on the opposite side, and I'm going to do a slip stitch. And then you can see we've done one bit of the corner on that square, so I'm going to chain 2 1 2, and then I'm going to do 3 double crochets. 1 2 3, and then I'm going to join to the opposite side. So that's how you kind of do the corner for the side. So you basically just, so you have your corners, and then you just join them, and then you chain, and then you just finish off the other corner. So you're going to continue joining and then doing your corners until you reach your desired length for the slit. So I'll meet you once I've done the length I need. Okay, so I just want to show you that I've joined for 3 rows. So we've joined, we've joined 1 2 3 blocks, and then I just joined there, and then now I'm just going to continue. So I'm going to chain 2, I'm going to just make 3 double crochets, 1 2 3, and we are no longer going to join to the opposite square. So now you just like make 3 double crochets in every gap, and then I'll just show you how to do the corner. It's not much different other than you just go into the corner, and then you chain 1 and then join with a slip stitch, and then you continue with that corner. So I'll just meet you once we're there. So let me show you how to do the corner. So you chain 1, then slip stitch, then chain 1, and then make 3 double crochets. See? Easy. And then you just repeat this until you get to that corner there. Okay, so I have come to the end and I've done the corner. Now we're going to work across, this is the bottom of the skirt, to this corner. So I'll meet you once you've done that, and basically you do the exact same thing like you've done from where you've stopped joining the slit. So I'll meet you once we have finished this side of the skirt and we're moving on to the next side of the skirt. So we're just doing that last corner there, and you're going to chain 2 and then join with a slip stitch into that chain that we did when we started joining in the beginning. So that's how we've done that, and then I'm going to take my scissors, cut off the yarn, then fasten the slip stitch, and then just weave away your yarn. And then you're going to repeat this for the other side, basically do the exact same thing, and then I'll meet you to do the waistband. So I'm just going to talk you through how I've done the waistband so far. So obviously there's this row of 3 double crochets that we did from joining, well, where we worked previously, and then I did 1 row of double crochets and decreased where I felt it was necessary. I made quite a few decreases, but for this next round I'm just going to make a double crochet in every single stitch because I feel that I've done enough decreases. And then so just how you think or feel what's necessary with the decreases, you do. I'm not being very specific, so yeah, but I am going to be sewing in an elastic. That's why I'm not being very very accurate. So yeah, I'll meet you once I've done this row, and then time to sew the elastic in. So yeah, we've sewn around the edge of the skirt. We're just going to do the same at the bottom there, so just to secure it so it's not so like floppy, you know. So we'll do that and then cut off the loose strands, and then you're done.